Hi, and welcome back to I'm a Happy Enchilada. If this is your first time with us, thanks for tuning us in. I'm Don Culver. I'll be your host. Now, the other day, I heard someone casually mention the path of least resistance. I hadn't heard that in years, and it caught my attention. So I went online, did a little research, and here's what I found out. Whoa, it can have huge implications in our lives, even though at first glance it seems like just a saying with little punch to it. But it's actually a way of living. It's so subtle you may barely notice the underlying structures in your life and how powerfully and naturally they may determine the way you live your life. Just to be clear, I'm not suggesting it's a character flaw. It's just something we're susceptible to by being human, and something we should be aware of and steer clear of to ensure a more full and robust life. Now, here's a couple insights from author Robert Fritz's book, Path of Least Resistance. First, just as a riverbed determines the path of the water flowing through it, the structures in your life determine your path of least resistance, whether you are aware of these structures or not. Second, you can change the fundamental underlying structures, like engineers changing the structure of the terrain so the river flows where you want it to go. Yeah, you can change the very structure of your life so you can create the life you want. Wow, looks like this path of resistance stuff is some serious business that can really affect our lives. So let's look at a few examples of ways of thinking that contribute to the path of least resistance. 1. Ethical failure, taking the easy way when it's even unethical. For example, continuing with a business that its practices hurt consumers just because it pays you well. 2. Lowering the bar, when a person lowers their standards over time to make life easier, could be in goals, morals, relationships. And 3, principle of least effort, a rule of thumb in marketing and design that people will always do things the easiest way. An example, people in a large office complex will eat lunch at the not-so-great restaurant on the property rather than a restaurant a few blocks away with much better food. Well, you get the idea, right? You know, the definition of path of least resistance is the easiest way to a goal. Sounds like an obvious choice, except it can be problematic when your goal is so narrow you miss the big picture by doing things the easy way every time. A great example of breaking through the path of least resistance is the entrepreneurs today that have come in and disrupted established industries that have had little or no innovation in decades. These entrepreneurs challenged the path of least resistance in these industries, had become comfortable with over time, and discovered better ways to do things that created new opportunity and wealth for them and their customers, thus forcing the established industries to either change or perish. Okay, so I think my job is done here. My goal is to bring you an awareness of what can hold you back in your life. What you do with it is up to you. So, choose wisely, grasshopper. Sorry, I just had to say that. You know, I love a good laugh, but this path to least resistance is insidious and real, so don't let it put limits on your success and happiness. Be aware and shoot for the stars. Well, that's all I've got. So until next time, God bless and be a happy enchilada. Bye.